Solar industry is abandoning silver. The metal that powered the clean energy revolution is being quietly, systematically removed. Not because it stopped working, not because the world needs less energy, but because someone ran the numbers and made a decision that could reshape global markets for the next decade. Solar installations are still growing, but silver demand is collapsing. And the people who understand why this is happening are already repositioning. Here's the harsh truth. 5 small paragraphs. Welcome to Finance Focus, where we don't chase headlines, we decode them. Every video on this channel is built for one purpose, to give you the economic clarity that most people never find. Now, before we go any further, if you haven't subscribed yet, think of it this way. You wouldn't skip your daily newspaper for 30 years and expect to understand the world. Don't skip this button either. Hit subscribe. It takes 1 second, and it may save you from a very expensive mistake someday. And we have a small tradition here at Finance Focus. Drop a comment right now and tell us, where in the world are you watching from? Whether you're in New York, Dubai, Karachi, or somewhere in between, we genuinely want to know. This channel belongs to all of you, because what we're about to discuss today isn't just a silver story. It is a strategic economic shift, quietly unfolding inside one of the world's fastest growing industries. And almost nobody's talking about it the right way. So stay with us. Every part of this video matters, and by the end, you will see the silver market and the clean energy industry in a way you never have before. The year is 2025. Silver is sitting near a 2-month high. The price is climbing. Investors are feeling confident. And on the surface, everything looks fine. But underneath that confidence, something unusual is happening. A quiet shift is taking place inside one of the world's most powerful industries. A shift that most investors haven't noticed yet. A shift that could change the silver market for years to come. The solar industry is walking away from silver. Not loudly, not dramatically. There are no press conferences, no major announcements, just boardroom decisions, engineering changes, and a slow but steady reduction in the amount of silver going into every single solar panel being built today. And here is where it gets interesting. More solar panels are being installed today than ever before in human history. The numbers are staggering. Every year, more and more solar capacity is being added across the globe. Governments are pushing for it. Companies are investing in it. Entire nations are building their energy future around it. So the logical assumption would be, more solar panels means more silver demand. But that assumption is wrong. In 2024, the solar industry consumed approximately 200 million ounces of silver. That was a massive number. Solar had become the single largest industrial consumer of silver on the planet. 1 out of every 5 ounces of silver being mined was going directly into a solar panel. Then something changed. By 2025, that number had already fallen to 186.6 million ounces. And now, for 2026, the forecast is 151 million ounces. That is a 19% decline in a single year. And this decline did not happen because the world suddenly stopped building solar panels. It happened because the solar industry made a deliberate decision to use less silver, and they executed that decision faster than almost anyone expected. This is the signal that everyone is misreading. Most people look at silver's rising price and feel reassured. They see strength, they see demand, they see a market that is holding up well. And in some ways, they are right. Silver is still in a structural deficit, supply is still tight, other industries are still consuming silver at healthy rates. But the solar story is a warning inside a warning. It tells us something deeper about how large industries behave when a raw material becomes too expensive. They do not simply absorb the cost. They do not pass it all on to the customer. Instead, they innovate, they adapt, they find ways to use less. And when they commit to that path, they rarely turn back. That is exactly what happened here. And understanding it is the first step to understanding what comes next. There's a moment in every industry when survival becomes more important than tradition, when the pressure becomes so great that engineers stop asking, how do we use this material better? And start asking, how do we use less of it? That moment arrived for the solar industry in 2024. At the beginning of that year, silver represented somewhere between 8% and 10% of the total cost of manufacturing a single solar cell. That was manageable. That was a number the industry could work with. Profit margins were stable. Production was scaling. Everything was moving in the right direction. Then silver prices started climbing, and they didn't stop. By the time the industry looked up from its production lines, silver had gone from a manageable input cost to consuming more than 20% of the total cost of manufacturing a solar cell. In less than 12 months, the cost structure of an entire global industry had been turned upside down. For a sector built on thin margins and high volume, this was not a minor inconvenience. This was an existential pressure. Solar cell manufacturers were facing a brutal choice. They could raise prices, and risk losing contracts in one of the most competitive markets on the planet. They could absorb the cost and watch their profit margins disappear. Or they could do what every serious industrial player does when cornered. They could engineer their way out. And that is precisely what they did, quietly, systematically, with a speed and precision that caught even experienced market analysts off guard. The industry launched what insiders began calling a dual strategy, two separate technological pathways, both pointing toward the same destination: less silver, lower costs, continued growth. The first pathway was thrifting. This sounds simple, but the execution was extraordinarily complex. Engineers began refining the silver paste formulations used inside solar cells. They redesigned cell architectures. They printed silver in thinner lines, in different patterns, using less material while trying to maintain the same level of electrical performance. Just 2 years ago, the silver paste used inside a standard solar cell contained approximately 40% silver content. Today, pastes with only 10% silver content have already entered high-volume production. That is a 75% reduction in silver concentration in under 2 years, not in a laboratory, not in a pilot program. In actual mass manufacturing, at global scale, that number deserves a moment of silence, because it tells us something profound about what happens when a trillion-dollar industry decides it needs to change. It does not move slowly, it does not wait for permission, it moves with urgency, with capital, and with some of the best engineering minds on the planet working on the problem around the clock. But thrifting was only the first pathway. The second pathway is where the story becomes even more consequential. Because the second pathway is not about using less silver, it is about replacing silver entirely. The technology in question is copper electroplating. Copper is abundant, copper is cheap, and copper, under the right conditions, can conduct electricity just as effectively as silver inside a solar cell. The challenge has always been oxidation. Copper exposed to air and moisture degrades, it loses its conductivity, it shortens the life of the panel. But engineers have been quietly solving that problem. Progress in silver-coated copper technology has been advancing rapidly, and the projections emerging from the industry suggest that by 2027, mainstream solar cells could reduce their average silver loading to below 5 milligrams per watt. If copper electroplating reaches full commercial viability, that number could fall even further, below 1 milligram per watt. To put that in perspective, the solar industry was once consuming 1 out of every 5 ounces of silver mined on Earth. If these projections hold, it may one day consume 1 out of every 10, or fewer. This was not an accident. This was not market forces acting blindly. This was a boardroom decision backed by engineering investment, executed with industrial precision. The solar industry looked at silver, looked at its own profit structure, and made a calculated choice to reduce its dependency. Numbers do not lie, they do not exaggerate, they do not have agendas. They simply sit there, quietly, telling the truth that most people are not ready to hear. And the numbers coming out of the silver market right now are telling a very uncomfortable story. Let us start at the beginning, not with projections, not with forecasts, but with what actually happened, year by year, inside the world's most important industrial silver market. In 2024, the solar industry consumed 200 million ounces of silver. That was not just a large number, that was a record. That was the peak of a decade-long climb, during which solar manufacturers absorbed more and more silver every single year. Analysts were bullish. Projections were optimistic. The assumption across the market was simple. Solar keeps growing. Silver demand keeps growing with it. Then the data for 2025 arrived. 186.6 million ounces. A drop of more than 13 million ounces in a single year. And this was not because fewer solar panels were being installed. It was because each panel was being built with measurably less silver than the one before it. The decoupling had begun. Solar capacity was expanding. Silver consumption inside that capacity was contracting. Most analysts noted it. Few truly understood what it meant. Then came the 2026 forecast, 151 million ounces, a projected decline of nearly 35 million ounces in 1 year alone. That is a 19% drop. And when placed against the 200 million ounce peak of just 2 years prior, it represents a total collapse of nearly 25% of solar silver demand in less than 24 months. That is not a dip. That is a structural reversal. Now consider what this means in practical terms. For years, roughly 1 in every 5 ounces of silver mined anywhere on Earth was destined for a solar panel. That ratio gave the solar industry enormous influence over silver pricing and demand dynamics. When solar boomed, silver felt it. When solar manufacturers placed large orders, the market responded. But that ratio is changing fast. Today, it is closer to 1 in 6, and based on the trajectory of thrifting and copper substitution technology, serious analysts are beginning to model scenarios where that ratio falls to 1 in 7, 1 in 8, and eventually 1 in 10. Each step down that ladder represents billions of dollars of silver demand quietly disappearing from the market. And the timeline is not distant. It is already underway. By 2027, mainstream solar cells are projected to reduce average silver loadings to below 5 milligrams per watt. If copper electroplating overcomes its remaining technical challenges, that number could fall below 1 milligram per watt. The 5-year transition timeline that some analysts once considered optimistic is beginning to look entirely realistic. But here is where the story takes an unexpected turn. Despite all of this, silver is still in a structural deficit. For the 6th consecutive year, the world is consuming more silver than it is producing. Mine output is constrained. Recycling supply has not scaled fast enough, and the gap between supply and demand, while partially offset by above-ground stockpiles, has not closed. So how is that possible? Because solar was never the only story. It was simply the loudest one. While solar manufacturers were engineering silver out of their supply chains, other industries were quietly engineering silver deeper into theirs. Industries where thrifting is far more difficult. Industries where silver is not a cost to be minimized, but a functional necessity that cannot easily be replaced. The numbers reveal a market in transition, not a market in collapse. And that distinction matters enormously for every entrepreneur, every investor, and every serious economic thinker watching this shift unfold in real time. Because the question was never whether solar would use less silver. The question, the one that actually determines the future of this market, is what fills the space that solar leaves behind. Every great market shift leaves behind two kinds of people: those who saw it coming and repositioned, and those who only understood it after it was already too late. The silver market is now at exactly that kind of crossroads. Solar's retreat from silver is real, the numbers confirm it, the engineering backs it, and the trajectory is clear. But what the headline misses, what the surface level analysis consistently fails to capture, is that silver's story does not end where solar's story changes direction. It simply enters a new chapter. For 6 consecutive years, the global silver market has run a structural deficit. The world has consumed more silver than it has produced every single year. And that deficit has persisted not because of one industry, but because of a broad and expanding base of industrial demand that continues to grow quietly in the background. Now that background is moving to the foreground. Consider artificial intelligence. The data centers powering the AI revolution require enormous amounts of silver. Every server, every cooling system, every high-frequency connection inside those facilities depends on silver's unmatched electrical conductivity. And unlike solar panels, AI infrastructure cannot thrift its way out of that dependency. Silver is not a cost variable in a data center. It is a functional requirement. And the build-out of AI infrastructure is only accelerating. Then there are electric vehicles. Every electric vehicle produced today contains significantly more silver than the internal combustion engine it replaces. From battery management systems, to charging contacts, to advanced safety sensors, silver is embedded throughout the modern electric vehicle in ways that are difficult and in many cases impossible to substitute. Global EV production is projected to grow dramatically through the end of this decade. And beyond AI and electric vehicles, advanced electronics, 5G infrastructure, medical devices, and next-generation defense systems are all expanding their silver consumption. These are not speculative future demands. They are active, present, and growing. This is the economic reality that the solar headline obscures. For the serious entrepreneur, the capital allocator, the young business mind trying to understand where value moves next, the solar silver story is not a reason to panic. It is a masterclass in how markets evolve. It demonstrates that no single industry holds permanent dominance over a critical material. Demand rotates, technology disrupts, and the most dangerous position any investor can hold is one built entirely on a single narrative. Silver's narrative is being rewritten, not erased. The solar industry's departure from heavy silver dependency will create short-term pressure on specific demand figures. That is real, and it should not be dismissed. But the structural deficit, the supply constraints, the growing industrial base across multiple high-growth sectors, these forces do not disappear because one industry learned to use less. They simply redistribute. And here lies the harsh truth that this entire story has been building toward. The solar industry did not abandon silver because silver lost its value. It abandoned silver because silver became too valuable, too quickly, for one sector to absorb alone. That is not a weakness. That is a signal. Markets that price themselves out of one application and simultaneously find growing demand in 5 others are not markets in decline. They are markets in transition. And transitions, for those who understand them, are where the most significant economic opportunities are quietly born. The solar industry made its decision. It ran the numbers. It chose copper. Now, the real question is not what the solar industry decided about silver. The real question is, what will you decide?